That's right. And then God says...
But in this book, it's very, very interesting because the author does two things. First, he was a judge in the Grand Rapids area, just a really godly man. But he first gives the story of all 13 of his children. And he talks about each one and how he loves them. And it's very moving. Wow. And then the second half of the book is he looks at all the biblical arguments that are made today about people planning just to having small families. And he just demolishes them one by one. Needless to say, it's not our best runaway seller. But the same thing we were just talking about with homosexuality. He shows how the culture's attitude of selfishness and I want my desire no matter what, that it just degenerates also in this area, so that people plan as if they're God and say, well, we're just going to have 2 kids, you know. And so he really demolishes all of that. And it's powerful because he wanted to be an airplane pilot and he had all these dreams and visions. And he said, well, with child number 4, all my plans came crashing down. And I had to deny myself, but I had to do it in order to live out this beautiful example of raising children in the fear of God.
Just one thing as a side note is that I believe by their own words, I can say this, that if you're now sending your children to public schools and to public universities, you need to realize you're sending them to religious institutions set against the God of creation. And you know, if you, let me give you an illustration. So if you have a big sore on your head that's bleeding and never heals, and you say, the doctors can't cure me, and you say, Brother Paul, could you pray or do something and maybe come up with an answer? And I say, well, I'm no doctor, but I'll watch you. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I see that you get up out of bed, and the clock strikes 1, and you smack your head against the wall, and then you go back to bed. And then clock strikes 2, you get up and you do it again, and go through 24 hours, and you've beat yourself rather badly against the wall. And I come to you and say, well, I'm no doctor, but I think I found your problem. You're sitting there, so many people, and they're going, I don't know why we're losing our generations. I don't know why. Because you're sending them to religious institutions that hate your God. And you need to realize that.